Okay, in this tutorial we're gonna talk about interfaces. So in the last tutorial we were hiding specific things with abstraction. So interfaces are another way to abstract things. So let me explain that through code, because that's the easiest and fastest thing to understand what I'm talking about anyway. So in the same namespace we will not have class prim, just like in the last couple of tutorials. We will have actually interface. So in TRFAC interface, and the custom here is to use E as a first part of name for that interface. So let's just call it I prim. Okay, so in here you will not get into details what specific methods will do. You will just state them, okay, without access modifier. By default that thing is public, and by default that thing is abstract, that method. So saying void, for example, I prim print, this is name of method, is enough. This is enough, without abstract, without public on the left side. And we must close it with semicolon, because this is a real instruction. So this is enough, okay. But we actually can use this I prim as interface through dedicated secondary classes. So class secondary, same stuff when we are inheriting from primary class in latest tutorials. Well, you're just going to say I prim here, and then we will develop this I prim print a little bit more, because we must. But this time we must type public. And what is a void? I mean, void is void, and I prim print. And now here we are going to set what this method will do. So console dot write line, this is simplest possible way to explain stuff, and it will print, for example, body of method must be in secondary class. So that's the whole purpose of interfaces, right? And guys, that's pretty much it. Very simple stuff. Shorter version than when you're inheriting from classical class, because you need to say public, abstract, and override down there, and so on. So this is kind of easier, right? Okay, so let's create object based on secondary class. Of course, we're going to say sets p1 equals new sets, and now we can use all these things from here. P1 in drop down we're gonna have I prim print, because this is a method, parenthesis, and save, and F5, and there you go. Body of method must be in a secondary class. What about things that are not methods? For example, can you have like string, some string here? Well, down there we're going to say public string some string equals, let's say, some value, uppercase, and down there can we use it in direct operation, because we do have object created. Well, let me test that. Console dot write line, we are targeting p1. From p1 can we have access to some string? Let me test. Save, F5, and problem. What is a problem? Interfaces cannot contain instance fields. So forget about this usage, okay? Just have methods in interfaces, and that's it. Forget about individual classical fields that you're going to have in normal classes. You cannot use it. That's the purpose of the story. Let's stick with classical, I mean dedicated methods, and that thing will work. Okay, so this is not operational. Let me test that one more time. There you go. Body of method must be in a secondary class, because you cannot use stuff directly from interface. Just create it here and develop it more down there in dedicated secondary classes. That's it. Thank you for watching. See you next one.